Welcome to Rihant Online Academy, and in this video we are going to discuss about Indian IT Act 2021, Intermediary Guidelines and Digital Media Ethics Code Rules for 2021, which needs to be followed by all social media and OTT platforms so that they can follow these rules and do their business in India. Now let's discuss about Indian IT Act 2021 and its guidelines. Before discussing this video, I am requesting to all of you guys, please subscribe this YouTube channel so that in future also you will get such more useful videos and on such latest content, right? So guys, social media platforms are welcome to do business in India, but they are need to follow the constitution and laws of India, right? So why this topic is taken as of now? Because currently, if you have heard the topic that all social media platforms are getting banned as they are not following the latest policies of Indian government, and the deadline was 26th of May 2021. So what about these laws? What are the laws that all these social media platforms and OTT needs to follow, right? So we are going to discuss about latest Indian IT Act 2021. So if we discuss about the guys background, then the Digital India program has now become a movement that is empowering common Indian with the power of technology, guys. And the extensive spread of mobile phones, internet, etc. has also enabled many social media platforms to expand their footprints in India. Common people are using these platforms in a very significant way. Some portals which publish analysis about social media platforms and which have not been disputed have reported the following numbers as user base of major social media platforms in India, guys. WhatsApp have user base of around 53 crore, and YouTube have 44.8 crore users in India. Facebook users are 41 crore, and 21 crore users are of Instagram, and Twitter users are 1.75 crore. This is the latest data which I have got from the Press Information Bureau, and they have published this on their site on their latest view, right? So this is the latest customer base of the social media giants. Now the thing here is that these social platforms have enabled common Indians to show their creativities, right? Such that they can ask their questions, and they can show their creativity, isn't it? And they can inform others. They can freely share their views as well as including criticism of government, right? They can do criticism of the government because in the government and its functions, because government acknowledges and respects the right of every Indian citizen to criticize, disagrees as the essential element of democracy, isn't it, guys? So India is the world's largest open internet society, guys. India is the world's largest open internet society, and government welcomes social media companies to operate in India to do business and also earn profits. But they will have to be accountable to the constitution and laws of India, guys, because some serious concerns are there, and these serious concerns lead to follow in such situations. And what are they, guys? These concerns have been raised from time to time in various forums, including parliament and its committees, judicial orders, civil society deliberations in different parts of the country. Such concerns are also raised all over the world, and it is becoming an international issues, guys, like fake news, abusing on social media, circulation of defamatory and obscene content, mocked images of women, revenge porn, basically especially for women, settling corporate rivalries and making them what to do in the case of business, and disrespect to the religious sentiments, spread of disharmony, financial fraud, incitement of violence, etc. are the topics which are raising, becoming an international issues these days, right? So if we concerns about the other countries, there are several laws that this media have to follow so that they can survive in their countries and do business, right? So basically, guys, issue is that it was found that currently there is no robust complaint mechanism is there, wherein the ordinary user of social media and OTT platforms can register their complaint and get it redressed within defined time, right? So suppose if your account is got banned, so you didn't get any kind of information here, without prior information your account is getting closed, isn't it, guys? So they have to make some scenario, they have to make some policies, so that if there is something error with your account, they should have to tell you in prior, they have to email you that this content is belongs to you, this is some of the problem, right? Some tweets are deleting of the Indian celebrities and politicians, but they don't give that on what account of on they are deleting that, right? So there is a need of such things, and lack of transparency and absence of robustness grievance redressals mechanism has left the users totally dependent on the whims and fancies of the social media platforms. But basically they don't have any remedies for it, because social media, suppose you have an account on social media and you are working very hard, but if they close your account without any prior information, you don't have any kind of remedies there, right? And you can't be heard, there isn't any authority that will heard you, right? So to raise awareness about this, these laws are needed, these laws are very great needed in the country, guys. Now, the rationale and justification for the new guidelines are as follows. Empower the ordinary users of digital platforms to seek redressal of their grievances and command accountability in case of infringement of their rights, right, guys? In this direction, the following developments are noteworthy. The first one is the Supreme Court in suo motu writ petition, that is Prajawala case, wide under dated 11/12/2018, had observed that the government of India may frame necessary guidelines. Government of India may frame necessary guidelines to eliminate child pornography, rape, and gang rape imageries, videos, and sites in the content hosting platforms and other applications. Right. So this is the rationale. One of the rationale for the justification of new guidelines. The next one may be of the follow that there was a calling attention motion on the misuse of social media and spread of fake news in the Rajya Sabha, and the minister has had conveyed to the House on 26th 7 2018 to the resolve of the government to strengthen the legal framework and make social media platforms accountable under the law. He had conveyed this after repeated demands from the members of parliament to corrective measures. The next one is, guys, the ad hoc committee of the Rajya Sabha laid its report on 3/2/2020 after studying the alarming issue of pornography on social media and its effect on children and society as a whole, and recommended for enabling identification of the first originator of such content. So these are the rationale and justifications for the new guidelines that the Supreme Court has mentioned, guys. And the next one is guidelines which are related to social media to be administered by Ministry of Electronics and IT. The very first one is due diligence to be followed by intermediaries, guys. The rules prescribed in this, you can say the rules which is prescribed due diligence that must be followed by intermediaries, including social media intermediaries. In case due diligence is not followed by the intermediaries, safe harbor provisions will not apply to them. Okay. The next one is grievance redressal mechanism. In this, the rule seeks to empower the user by mandating the intermediaries, including social media intermediaries, to establish a grievance redressal mechanism for receiving resolving complaints from the users or victims. Intermediaries shall appoint a grievance officer. Okay, intermediary should have to appoint grievance officer to deal with such complaints and share the name and contact details of such officer, so that grievance officer shall acknowledge the complaint within 24 hours and can resolve it in 15 days from the date of receipts, right? The next one is ensuring online safety and dignity of users, especially women users. Why it is so? Intermediaries shall remove or disable access within 24 hours of receipt of complaints of content that exposes the private areas of individuals, show such individuals in full or partially nudity or in sexual act or in the nature of impersonation, including mocked images, etc. Guys, such a complaint can be filed either by individual or by any other person on his or her behalf. The next one is two categories of social media intermediaries. To encourage innovation and enable growth of new social media intermediaries without subjecting smaller platforms to significant compliance requirement, the rules make a distinction between social media intermediaries and significant social media intermediaries. Okay guys, this distinction is based on the number of users on the social media platforms. Government is empowered to notify the threshold of users base that will distinguish between social media intermediaries and significant social media intermediaries. Okay, social media intermediaries and significant social media intermediaries. The rules require the significant social media intermediaries to follow certain additional due diligence. Next one is giving users an opportunity to be heard. Isn't it, guys? Very important, na? That users should be given an opportunity to be heard. In cases where significant social media intermediaries remove or disable the access of any information on their own accord, then a prior intimation for the same shall be communicated to the user who has shared the information with the notice explaining the grounds and reason for such action. Users must be provided an adequate and reasonable opportunity to dispute the action taken by the intermediaries. And next is removal of unlawful information. In this, an intermediary, upon receiving actual knowledge in the form of an order or by a court or being notified by an appropriate government or its agencies through authorized officer, should not host or publish any information which is prohibited under any law in relation to the interest of sovereignty and integrity of India, public orders, friendly relations with foreign countries, etc. So these are the guidelines which is related to social media that should be administered by Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. And some additional due diligence are also here, which you need to keep in mind, and which is very important, guys. Additional due diligence that should be followed by significant social media intermediaries are first one is appoint a chief compliance officer who shall be responsible for ensuring compliance with the act and rules. Such a person should be a resident in India. The next one is appoint a nodal contact person for 24/7 coordination with law enforcement agencies. Such a person shall be a resident in India. The third one is appoint a resident grievance officer who shall perform the functions mentioned under grievance redressal mechanism. Such a person shall be a resident in India. And the fourth one is publish a monthly compliance report mentioning the detail of complaints that is received and action taken on the complaints, as well as details of the content removed proactively by the significant social media intermediary. These are some additional guidelines which is related to social media that should be administered by Ministry of Electronics and IT. And consultation, right? So if we talk about consultation, then Ministry of IT, that is Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, held consultations in Delhi, Mumbai and Chennai over the 1.5 year, from previous 1.5 year, wherein OTT players have been urged to develop a self-regulatory mechanism. What is self-regulatory mechanism? We are going to discuss ahead of this, right? So we're going to discuss it. And the government also studied the models in other countries including Singapore, Australia, the European Union, United Kingdom, and has gathered that most of them either have an institutional mechanism to regulate digital content or are in process of setting up one. So India should also have to do that. Now notified under Section 87 of Information Technology Act, these rules empower the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting to implement Part 3 of the rules, which prescribe the following. Okay, Code of Ethics for online news, OTT platforms, and digital media, right? Code of Ethics for digital media, OTT platforms, and online news. So in that, this code is ethics, this code of ethics, basically you can say that prescribed in the guidelines to be followed by the OTT platforms and online news and digital media entities, and self classification of content that I have told here that we will gonna discuss. Self classification of content is that the OTT platforms called the publishers of online created content in the rules that have to be self classify the content into 5 age based universal, 7 plus or 13 plus, 16 plus, 18 plus, adult, like that. Okay, and they have to do the reliable age verification mechanism for content classified under these categories, right? The next one is norms of journalistic conduct of the Press Council of India and the program code under the Cable Television Network Regulation Act. So in this, they have to provide a level playing field between the offline print TV and digital media. And apart from it, a 3-level grievance redressal mechanism has been established under the rules with different levels of self-regulation. The first one, level 1, is self-regulation by the publishers. You can say that a publisher shall appoint a grievance redressal officer, grievance redressal officer. Okay, and what is the function of that? That should have to based in India, who shall be responsible for the redressal of grievances received by it. Okay, he or she should be responsible for all the grievances received by it, and the officer shall take decision on every grievance received by it within 15 days. The next one is level 2. Okay, next one is level 2, that is self-regulation by the self-regulating bodies of the publishers. There may be one or more self-regulatory bodies of publishers. Such a body shall be headed by retired judges or Supreme Court of the Supreme Court, and or a High Court or independent eminent person, and have not more than 6 members. Such a body will have to be registered with the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, that is Ministry of IB, and this body will oversee the adherence by the publishers to the code of ethics and address grievances that have not been resolved by the publishers within 15 days. And the last one is level 3rd, oversight mechanism. That is Ministry of Information and Broadcasting shall formulate an oversight mechanism. It shall publish a charter for self-regulating bodies, including codes of practices. It shall establish an interdepartmental committee for hearing grievances. So guys, these are the consultations of Indian Information Technology Act, and I hope the content I have discussed with you are very clear to you. I am requesting again to all of you that please subscribe this channel, so that in upcoming time also I will try to provide you such more useful content with more creativity and with more interaction. But if I will get some positive response from you guys, it will be more beneficial for us and you as well, so that you can get latest content with latest knowledge, and you can upgrade yourself directly from this channel. Do subscribe. If you have any kind of doubts, queries, any suggestions, please do comment and share it with your friends. Have a very nice day guys. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, and take care of yourself.